YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy Manu here, aka Mr. See It Before It Happens. And today, fellas, I bring to you another one of my club series games. This is going to be part of a $1 million tournament. This, again, was on Madden 21. I titled it Madden 22 Prep because, again, I think it's a good idea to go back and watch these tournament games. We can learn a lot in preparation for the next Madden. So, Danny did knock off Clef, who was one of the top players in the world. So I knew Danny was going to be a pretty good player. So let's get straight into it. Here he's going to start off on offense, and he's going to be in the New York Jets offensive playbook. And I'm going to pause it here real quick. I will say I took a little risk here on defense in this tournament. So the reason I ran this defense is because it could get pressure versus Max Pro. And majority of the time when you're playing versus bunch, or most bunch players like the Max Pro. Again, this meta was a little bit different though. Again, a lot more people in bunch were sending 5 out, and when I was getting preparation in for bunch, again, I felt like I had a good foundation going. And again, I was just kind of going based off the assumption that uh, most people are going to be max proing out a bunch in this tournament. And you're going to see as this game progresses, and especially in my next tournament game versus Gucci, that, this defense is kind of going to come back to bite me. And it was a really big risk because I can't really go to 3-5 wide either because I don't have, or if I did go to 3-5 wide, I would have linebackers in at outside linebacker, and you really do not want that. And again, here in this 3rd and 17, I scream here. I got really aggressive versus Danny. Expecting, again, usually when people are in that situation, they're going to run the ever so popular PA boot rollout. So I blitzed my corner there, kind of anticipating that play call. And I was able to get him all the way to 4th and 26. Again, starting here at offense, obviously I'm going to be in the trips tight end. Again, I'm going to have playmaker on B. And first play here, again, Danny screamed at me. He sent 6. So when I was preparing for this game, what I noticed about Danny is he ran coverage about 80% of the game versus Clef. So again, I was expecting more coverage looks out of Danny early. And again, I'll always say I'm not one of the best starters in the world, but if I can just keep myself in this game, I feel like I'm always going to progress over the course of the game. I will adjust on the fly on either side usually, and that's usually my strength. So it's really just about getting off to a good start for me, and I do that here. And again, I went with the 5 out. I'm primarily a 5 out player. You'll probably see me run. I'll probably run 5 out more than any other offensive player in the world. It's just, again, when I started playing Madden, I think this is part of it. I started playing money games in Madden 15, Madden 16, Madden 17, and that kind of era of Madden. The blocking protections were really not that good. Blitzes would scream up the A gap. There would be unblockable edge pressure. So I really got in a habit of. I feel like it benefits me a lot of times in a habit of just finding the best ways to get the ball out of my hands quickly. But here, as you saw, I got sacked in the last play. Again, I went with the Max Pro. People are telling me sometimes I'm still going to mix in the Max Pro here, and again, it doesn't pay off for me here. Again, I usually do not like the Max Pro because usually when I hold into the ball on Max Pro and Playmaker, I get sacked. Whereas when I send 5 out, usually I feel like I'm a little bit more efficient. And I did note that he left his sauce go on the tight end side here, and we'll go back to that later in the game. Here on the 2nd and 17, Danny. Again, what I'm noticing is on this, what I've learned from this first drive is Danny is this is the complete opposite of what I expected from Danny. Again, when I don't really know Danny, this is the first time, obviously my first time actually playing versus him, and I've only seen him play one time, and that was versus Clef. And versus Clef, he almost never blitzed Clef. So Yeah, it's catching me off guard a little bit here at the start, but I'm gonna adapt to his thought process throughout the game. Like I said, I'm always gonna progress, especially in offense throughout the game. I'm usually good about figuring out how someone thinks and then countering that. Whereas on the first drives, when it's someone I really don't know, it can be a little tricky. So again, I'm really fine with 3 here because I learned a lot about Danny, and I really feel confident that I can get 7 on my next drive. This is kind of how it always is for me. It's not always super fluid early in the game, but I will progress throughout the game. Here back on defense. Again, this when Danny audibled the bunch head end, you're gonna see this is gonna start to give me a little trouble later on. And Danny did like the mix in. When Danny played Clef, he really didn't run the ball that much. He didn't mix in bunch tight end. Bunch tight end became more of a meta uh, later on in the year when clubs just played 2 months before this or 3 months before this. Again, not too many people were in bunch tight end, I believe. But yeah, Danny was a lot more balanced than I expected to. But and also Danny kind of had a little glitch with this streaks as you're going to see in a second. But here, we get a little quick swat down. Again, I'm expecting Danny to kind of roll out here on PA boot rollout. Again, he didn't do it again. You saw me. I played fairly aggressive again there. I blitzed my outside corner. Again, he's not really sending out extra people. Most people, I feel like when they see a look like this, they're not gonna. Most people don't send out extra people. They're mainly looking to max protect. Yeah, exactly what I mean. So he's scared. Uh, Good playmaker there by Danny. Caught me slipping, but again, when most people see a look like this, they're gonna kind of tend to max pro. So, um, I'm gonna mix in a good amount of coverage from it as well. So it's always gonna be a lot easier to play coverage defense when someone's sending only 3 people out on a route. So, and here Danny loved his inside zone, and I don't know, it really wasn't too effective for him most of the game. But you're gonna see, I get a little upset later in the game. Anytime people do the back-to-back run plays and when it doesn't work the first time, I'm always gonna say something. I'm always gonna make a note of it, and I know the announcers made a note of it too. Again, this just blows my mind. You know, Again, I think this is where someone had pointed this out to me after the game, but it just didn't work on the first down. Again, I guess Danny just liked what he saw there. Again, I guess there my defense was a little bit more set, but again, I'm just surprised. Like you lost 3 yards on that first down, and then you hit me with the back-to-back inside zone. I'm always gonna say something in those situations. It just surprises me because I would never do that because I'm just afraid. Uh, you know, I, it's shown that you can lose 3 yards on it, so I'm not going to want to lose 3 yards again. So again, here this was I didn't really honestly that wasn't really much of a lurk. I think Danny just got really impatient there. Danny has to wait a lot longer than that. Again, he just kind of guessed past that over the middle of the field. Again, if he had waited for the hitch to cross more, I don't think I would have lurked him here. But and back on offense, again, my plan here on the second drive is I learned a lot about Danny from that first drive. Again, he's blitzing 6 regardless. And again, I do feel like I'm one of the better offense or the one of the better 5-out players in the world. So again, I'm going to be really comfortable in this situation. I have no problem sending out extra people versus the blitz. Again, I always feel like that's going to be one of my strengths. Again, 2nd and 3, and Danny was just so aggressive on that first drive. It was just blitz regardless, blitz regardless. So again, I'm gonna hit him with 5-out again. Again, I'm comfortable doing this. Again, he kind of I maybe could have snapped this there. I was just confused as to what he was doing. So it took me a second to think about like what is going on here. And again, he made a mistake. He calls a timeout. I possibly could have quick snapped him and hit him with verticals there, but who knows. But again, here in the 2nd and 3, I'm expecting Danny showed me on the first drive he's a madman. He's going to blitz regardless. So again, I'm going to hit him with the same 5-out play again. And Danny does man up his running back there. I'm just going to run out of bounds with my quarterback. But again, he's not really playing coverage defense out of this. Again, that's what caught me off guard a little bit in the first shot. Because like I said, versus Clef, it was like 80% coverage defense. Versus me, he's blitzing almost every single play, whether it's 6, whether it's 5. So again, I am going to mix it up on him here. I'm going to set up a deep bomb here. Because again, he is, playing fairly, or no, I'm going to wait on the next play. I'm going to do it. But I only block my running back here because I see he's sending 5. Again, I have a step here with the crosser. And again, I feel like, I don't know how I was surprised he got there with this corner because if you go back and look at it, it looked like I had a step on the guy and I passed it towards the sideline. So I'm really surprised that he got there. But again, that was one of my favorite plays, the play before that I called. Because again, most people kind of shade up out of this. So, I'll either have like the X spot post over the middle or that drag underneath. But again, here, Danny, it's this blitz, blitz, blitz. So I'm going to max pro. And I'm going to pop him over the top. And again, we get him over the top here. Shout out to D-Croft. D-Croft flew in this little out and up to me. And that was really helpful in this tournament. Another thing to note is since I showed Danny that I was willing to send 5 out, Danny was manning up my running back, so that's why the pressure didn't come in. I tried to do that play on my first drive where I ended up getting sacked. The difference was Danny was sending 6 there and hovering, but since Danny started to respect my 5 out, I showed him that I was willing. I'm not scared to send extra people out. Again, then Danny manned up, so that's what bought me more time on this play. So I was able to bomb over the top. And again, Danny was ultra aggressive on defense. It was he just blitzed every single play. Again, here, back on defense. Again, Danny's staying consistent with the inside zone. I don't know if he's going to trick me again and hit me with another inside zone. But, I felt like I was all over that inside zone and he would just kind of come out and run it again. So that definitely caught me off guard, and I did make note of that. Or I did, I did say something about that during the game. But again, good play here by Danny. Those outside quarters are just not good in Madden 21. And again, another reason why I like this defense is not just because I could screen versus Max Pro, but that safety that I brought down the box, I could cross man him. So I could get a little bit more creative with my coverage adjustments. And again, Danny is right back to the inside zone, bro. Again, I stopped him I don't get it. I stopped him on the last one, and he got me again, or he went back to it again. So again, Danny's really shown me now that I really gotta keep an eye on the inside zone, kind of regardless of the down and distance, or how the results are going. Again, here I'm shading up. I think, is this the one, or no, I'm not shading up here. It's interesting. So yeah, I don't think I shaded up on that play. I think I said on the broadcast that I shaded up, but it looked like I didn't shade up there. So those fades with 99 speed, if you man press, they're gonna get beat over the top. Hey, in the red zone, I mean, if you only got 2 yards to go, it's going to be fairly easy. I think I should have came out in goal line, though. I think goal line would have been my best shot there. But, again, Danny makes it a game. Hits me with that fade over the top. And here, back on offense. Again, I feel really good on offense. I always feel like I'm going to progress on offense as the game goes on. I'm starting to learn a lot about Danny. So, again, here, Danny is just a madman on defense. He's just blitzing every play. So I'm going to go with Max Pro here. And again, set up another deep bomb. Again, just an ultra aggressive user here from Danny. I don't know. The only reason I think he did that is because he has his purple set to like 10, because I have been throwing a lot of tight end drags. I've been attacking underneath, been attacking over the top, so I did make him respect my underneath game. But Danny's just got to know that he does not have a deep blue over the top here, and he cannot give that up in that situation. He just has to get back. Again, here on the 1st and 10, really all I'm saying to myself is like, just don't give up the fade. Don't give up the fade. We've been playing good defense. We just can't give that up. Again, here, really, we just had to kind of watch the playmaker here. He could have maybe thrown that crosser, but the outside quarter could have potentially played it. So I think that was a good decision to kind of just look underneath there. Again, I think Danny might have been a little uncomfortable in bunch because of the look I gave him, because no one else was running this defense in the tournament. So I think that might have influenced some of his play call selections. Again, I think he potentially might have ran more bunch if I was in maybe a 3-5 wide. He just didn't look too comfortable in bunch. Again, here all I'm saying is he really hasn't done much on offense besides the fade. So again, my adjustment here is really just making sure that I don't give up the fade. I'm going to be shading up. I have an outside third on the bunch tight end side, because that's really what's killing me so far. Again, I have an outside third. The guy is manned up. And again, this is pretty crazy to me. I thought I was shading up. Again, my guy does press, but again, I have an outside third. But I guess the outside third is getting pulled by the corner a little bit. But usually when you have those, the guys manned up, even if the outside third gets pulled a little bit, I don't know. It's surprised you got by both of them. It is what it is. Yeah, I just got to put a deep half, move my safety back, put a deep half. And there, Danny goes with the inside zone again. The inside zone worked I don't know. I feel like it worked every other time. Sometimes I was blowing it up, and other times, you got a 7-yard gain again. Usually when I blow it up a few times, I usually don't expect it. But again, really, I gotta keep an eye on that inside zone. Again, here in the 2nd and inches, I'm just committing to the run here. I had good run defense for this. I knew that a lot of people like to audible to that trip set, so I was well prepared. For that. Again, when people audible to sets like that, 90% of the time they're running the ball. They're not going to have no dots. I mean, Danny made it so obvious too, because he came out on trips on the short side. It was 1,000% a run call. Again, I was fully committed to the run there. Fine with holding him to 3. I felt really good on offense. Again, we just got to not give up the fade. I feel like that was the only thing he had on offense. So, again, really, I just going to play more conservative and deep half on that bunch tight end side. Yeah, I get the ball here out of half. This is something I haven't done too much yet to Danny, but this little tight end speed burst corner route is usually pretty good versus man coverage. So, and I hadn't really used this too much versus Danny, but again, Danny just didn't care. He just blitzed every single play. He just didn't care. I don't know why, but he did on the last touchdown. To be fair, though, he did run coverage defense. But so again, I'm expecting him to kind of give this up again. So I'm gonna try it again. Again, I see it's man to man. Again, it worked last time. This time it just doesn't work, and then that's why I just hate manas, because it's just so inconsistent. It looked the same to me. I thought I had him just like last time, but again, same thing, different result. And get to stop. Again, I just gotta throw that player away right there. I don't need any of the inconsistencies. I feel like I'm moving the ball really fine on him when I'm playing normal. So again, I'm just gonna throw that play away and go back to what I was doing before. Again, back here on defense, so you're going to see a little adjustment in me. I'm not bringing my safety all the way down in the box. Again, there, I'm able to kind of spin around the guard here, make a play in the inside zone. But again, this guy's going to run inside zone again, so I gotta got to be looking out for that. And as you see, yeah, I'm going to be playing ultra conservative on defense now. Really no point to bring that safety down in the box. And there, man, I got Math. I mean, that was a good touch pass by him. Again, I fully committed to that route. Um, I knew he would kind of lock into that. I didn't have any zones there. You know, I tried to lurk him. Good touch pass there by him. Again, here in 3rd and 2, I'm expecting an inside zone. It's either been an inside zone or a fade so far. Again, I just mistimed that there with my user. I could have made a better user play on the inside zone. Again, I'm just surprised by Danny. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm blowing it up a good portion of the time. It's just like you're just running inside zone again. I'll never. It's not just Danny. I'll never understand that, but it is what it is. And again, here, I got to move back to safety. What am I doing? Okay, yeah, I did move back to safety. Put him in the deep half. And again, right there, that was probably lucky. Usually the guy, well, he did do that in the first play of the game too, but was not expecting that to happen. Again, Danny ran a good bit this game. Again, if you watch the Clef game, he didn't really run in the Clef game. Again, I really think this defensive look made him a little uncomfortable. Or maybe he just thought it was just terrible run. Again, 2nd and 12 and you run a counter out a bunch. Like, I don't know. I feel like Danny's playing a little scared right now. Like, you haven't ran the counter all game. You've been killing me with the fade a little bit. I think Danny just seems a little uncomfortable on offense. Again, I believe I even blitzed my outside corner here, and he's still able to get outside the pocket. And again, I was pissed here. I hit sticked him as soon as he caught the ball. He broke the hit stick, and then he fell forward. And I was pissed about this because I feel like if it was a 4th and 2, I have a good feeling that he would have kicked the field goal, because honestly, he didn't seem too comfortable on offense. I really felt like he was going to kick the field goal, but since it was 4th and inches, because of the fall forward, again, that kind of propelled him to go for it. And here, luckily, I'm able to get the stop here. Again, quarterback sneak. I mean, shit, I feel like quarterback sneak should work there, but it didn't work there. Again, quarterback sneak is pretty inconsistent in Madden now. I wish it wasn't. I don't feel like those situations should be that tricky, but that's just how it is. And here, I'm going to get that other corner route out of my game. It's just too inconsistent. Go back to what was working. And again, Danny is just back to blitzing everybody. Again, hit him there with a crosser. And again, I'm going to stay patient on those reads. I know a lot of players will have a bad tendency of just automatically assuming and just like quick throwing it to the drag. But I know that a lot of Madden players get really aggressive with their users, and they're going to kind of come down. So again, I always stay patient on those passes over the middle. Again, most people are going to bite down. Again, here, since Danny's just blitzing everybody again, I feel like I'm going to go right back to the 5 out, just because it looked like he was blitzing 6 again. Again, he blitzed like basically 80% of the game. And again, here he blitzed everybody. And again, I took note of what he did, the coverage adjustment that he did here. And he also did this coverage adjustment earlier in the game where he soft squatted the tight end side and he put a deep half. So again, I'm going to adjust on the fly a little bit here. I'm going to cook one up on the fly. Again, I know I'm assuming he's gonna do the soft squat again. So I'm still gonna cook up a play that could potentially be man with the skinny post and the playmaker drag. But again, I've never called this play before, but I knew it would be good versus what Danny was specifically doing. And again, he did it again there where he soft squatted the tight end side and he deeped half his safety. And again, I know why he was doing that. I'm sure he wasn't expecting me to do a fade there. Again, that's not something that I usually do versus defense, but again, versus how Danny was playing, it was a good play call. And again, here I just gotta get this under 30 seconds, and hopefully, and I don't know why he's in mid blitz here. This usually isn't good run defense, and we're gonna go up 14. And I really feel like that was. I really feel like it was a game at this point. Again, I really didn't feel like he had much success on defense versus me. And really, on offense, I just couldn't give up that fade. That fade was killing me. I just kind of put the deep half when I'm on defense here. And Again, I feel like he's kind of reaching on defense at this point in the game now. I see why he's doing the soft squat because, again, I'm mixing in that flat underneath. But, again, I'm always going to play outside of my predetermined set of plays. Sometimes you just got to – sometimes you got to put a play out there that can beat specifically what someone is doing. Again, everybody's going to play a little bit differently. You can't just play the form. You got to play the player. And that's why I feel like I'll always get better over the course of the game. So I'll always prefer the longer games. I always prefer watching somebody first. I don't always like, playing someone for the first time because, again, sometimes I'll feel it out a little bit funny. But, again, usually I will get better as the game goes on. And here, again, now it's really just about playing fairly conservative. Again, I feel like I just gifted him, those 10 points on those early drives. Again, he hit me with the fade. Really now, what I'm doing on defense is, again, I'm just bringing my safety back and putting him in a deep half when he goes to bunch tight end. Again, here, he was trying to kill me with this delay fade here. I will say another thing, if I did it over again, I probably would have played more in the online tournaments. Again, I was speaking to other people about this. I feel like I really didn't know too much about how this game played. It was really because I just played like a limited number of people. So, again, I really didn't know too many ways to stop the PA, that delay fade. And that's why I blitzed my outside corner there. And that's what I really want to do versus if someone was really rolling out like that. Again, that was a good play call by Danny because I have been blitzing my outside corner a decent bit versus this formation, really to stop like the rollout. Again, that was a good play call there by him. Caught me off guard. Again, I think what I got to do on defense now versus that is really I just got to mix in the user rush a little bit more. And that's something I played too much. So, again, I just gotta drop back in the more zone and just go and get the quarterback myself. All right, back here in offense again. I feel like I've been pretty consistent this game on offense, but here again, Danny blitzes everybody, bro. It's like, oh my lord. So again, he catches me there, max prong. Again, I'm trying to mix it up, 5 out, 4 out, 3 out in a route. Again, I'm gonna go back to what I do best. I'm not gonna sit here in max pro and just kind of hope that everybody gets blocked. Again, I'm just gonna send 5 out. Again, there, I feel like he had trouble with the 5 out most of the game. And again, 5 out is going to be really good when someone's sending 6 because, again, the user always has to go and guard the running back. Then I just need to have an option where someone's getting a free release off the line, and that tight end's always going to get a free release off the line. That was one of my favorite concepts that I came up with earlier in the year, really this drag by the tight end, then a tight end flat, or a running back flat, and then a drag by the tight end. Because the user's not going to be able to guard both of those at the same time. They're going to cross too quickly. Again, I'm expecting Danny to man up my running back here, so that's why I blocked him. Again, here on this play, I'm going to rewind it. So he puts his inside linebacker. Watch the inside linebacker. I'm expecting the inside linebacker to get cleared out by this fade here. And it looks like he does. Again, that inside linebacker is running deep with the fade. That's kind of the responsibility of, or kind of the role of, the streak route here in the slot. It's just to kind of push back the deep blues. And again, the inside linebacker is running back with the deep blues. So again, I was surprised. Again, they usually don't turn around on this. But I guess since he was at the line of scrimmage, that's why he made a better play on it. Usually the inside thirds are all the way back. But again, since it was a strong safety at inside linebacker, so he's right over the guards. Again, he played this a little bit better than I expected. And again, I thought I had this, but again, the inside linebacker made a really good play on that. And I was fortunate there that did not get picked. But what I realized there on that play is Danny's now kind of I killed Danny earlier in the game with the S pulse, so Danny is starting to kind of focus on that deep middle of the field. I've been killing Danny in both flats. Uh, so here on this play of the game, uh, I feel like Danny. There's no chance that Danny anticipates what's coming next. So again, I can kind of keep track of what I've been play calling or what I've been doing in certain situations myself. So again, I'm gonna call a play that Danny's not gonna really expect here. Again, I've only used this route once in the game. Again, I've mostly done tight end crossers and tight end drags. So I've only been attacking the trip sideline at like a 5 to 10 yard depth or like a 15 to 20 yard depth with my tight end. So again, I feel like there's no chance that Danny is going to be able to anticipate this next play call. Again, and this is like an undervalued aspect of offense is like situational play calling here. Again, I feel like I was thinking 2 steps ahead of Danny here. There's just no chance that he's going to be able to expect this coming. I've only done this once this game. There's no chance that he has a purple all the way on 30 and hasn't manned up here. I feel like this was the perfect play call for him. Again, I've only done this only once before this game. It's been mostly 5 yard or to 20 yard passes to the left sideline. So here I'm going to have a 30 yard route to that sideline. And again, Danny I think was anticipating the tight end crosser, but this crosser that I motioned over is a little bit deeper, so it's going to get over the 20 yard zone drop. And again, I was sure that Danny was going to be more anticipating a tight end crosser because that's what I've ran majority of the game is tight end crossers. I probably ran tight end crossers 6 or 7 times. I've ran this crosser once, so I got over the top here of that purple. Again, it looked like that purple was set to 20 for the tight end crosser. And also, I knew that he was going to be looking to kind of guard the deep middle of the field. I hadn't really attacked this deep left sideline too much, so again, I was able to hit him here and popped him with that for the first. And that's really gonna be game here in this situation. I'm just looking to get the field goal here. I don't know if I run the ball. I might just dot him one more time. I'm not sure what I did here, but I believe I just need 3 more yards. I don't know how I'm gonna play this. So yeah, I am. So last time I ran this formation. Danny gave up 7 yards, but he is in a different formation here. So again, I hit him with a little different style run. I hit him with 95 Mike. Again, because most people, again, I feel like Danny was anticipating the popular stretch call or, yeah, that RPO stretch out of there. So I kind of hit him with 95 Mike because I just kind of assumed that he would have a gap shoot for the stretch call. So again, here Danny is back in this mid blitz. Again, I probably could have just ran that dive because the last time I ran dive on this, again, I got touchdown off it. I got 7 yards. Again, here I'm just playing for 3. I mean, this game is basically over. I just gotta clock it out at this point. If I run 3 times, I can take this all the way down to it'll be about 20 seconds. But Danny's probably gonna call his timeouts here. So again, if Danny calls his timeouts here and I go up by 2 possessions, this game's going to be over because again, Danny would need an onside kick, and again, the chance of getting an onside kick are about the same chances of walking outside right now and getting struck by lightning. So again, I like my chances. Again, I even got the first down here, so I'm just going to continue to run. Keep it on conservative here. No need to no need to have it unbalanced here. And again, Danny actually does get the ball back here, so that's why I didn't end it yet. I don't. But I believe Danny's only going to get the ball back with super limited time here. But Danny, Danny does make it interesting. Um, yeah, he's gonna get the ball. I'm gonna run it one more time. So Danny's gonna get the ball back with like a minute left. So again, Danny has a minute left. I'm up 10. Danny has no timeouts. Again, I know that Danny. I know that Danny needs an onside kick to win this game again. The chances of that are just, just impossible, honestly. Again, I don't think I might have seen like one onside kick recovered this entire year, and honestly, I feel like that's how it should be. It should be a super duper low chance of recovering the onside kick, super duper low. Again, that probably could have been picked there, but one thing about Danny this game, I always joke about this with people is some people just have those routes. Like Danny's route this game was that streak route or the fade route. And people just have those routes that you just can't explain how it's just consistently getting open. But for Danny, you just kind of had one of those. It was just kind of his mystical, portion of the game where I can't really be explained, but it just worked for him because honestly, I've played so many games this year, and you know, you just don't expect the fade to get over the top of like a man up and an outside there and stuff like that. But I don't know how Danny did it, but again, that's basically gonna be game. Good games to Danny. Make sure to check him out. I'll put the link to the description to his social media in the bio below. Also, guys, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know below what other content you guys would like to see, what games you guys would like to see broken down. Again, just let me know. I'll try to interact with all you guys, but I appreciate all of you guys. I'm out.